Daniel had always been a man of routine. He woke up at the same time every day, followed the same steps, and ended each day with the same thoughts. He felt stable, yet stagnant. Success was something he often dreamed about, but it never seemed to come close. He looked at his peers, who appeared to have everything he wanted: successful careers, fulfilling relationships, and lives full of adventure. But despite his efforts, Daniel couldn't seem to break free from the cycle of mediocrity. One evening, feeling especially frustrated, he sat down by the window and thought to himself, "Is this all there is?" He couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing, but he couldn't put his finger on it. Just as the weight of disappointment was settling in, Daniel recalled something his father once told him. "The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is one simple question." As the days passed, Daniel's frustration only grew. He continued to follow his routine, but the feeling of dissatisfaction lingered. Every day seemed like a repeat of the last, and the weight of living in a cycle that felt unchanging began to feel unbearable. His job, once a source of pride, now felt monotonous. He could no longer see the passion he once had for it. Relationships with friends and family had also become shallow. It seemed like everyone was too busy with their own lives. Daniel started to question everything he'd been doing. Why am I stuck in this cycle, he wondered. Why do I feel like I'm doing everything right, but nothing ever changes? The more he tried to push himself forward, the more obstacles seemed to appear. His dreams felt further away, and the more he struggled, the more the gap between his reality and his goals widened. The fear of never breaking free from this cycle began to consume him. The next day, the old man invited Daniel to a walk in the park. As they strolled under the shade of the trees, the man picked up a fallen leaf and handed it to Daniel. "This leaf," he said, "is like your potential. At first, it appears to be just another part of nature, something ordinary. But take a closer look. Notice the veins, the texture, and the subtle patterns. This leaf has its own unique story, and so do you." Daniel held the leaf in his hand, marveling at its intricate details. He had always seen the leaf as just a part of the environment, something easily overlooked. But now, with the old man's guidance, he began to see it as a symbol of his own untapped potential. "Your potential," the old man continued, "isn't about what you can do in a single moment. It's about how you nurture it over time. The growth you seek comes not from force, but from understanding, patience, and awareness." Daniel stood silently, contemplating the leaf. The realization hit him like a wave. True growth required time, care, and a deeper understanding of himself. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel continued to reflect on the lessons he had learned from the old man. As he held the leaf, he began to realize that he had been looking at life all wrong. He had always been obsessed with the destination, the end goal, believing that success and happiness was something he would only achieve once he reached that point. But now, with the wisdom he had gained, Daniel understood that true success was not a destination at all. It was a continuous process of growth. The more he reflected on the leaf and the old man's words, the more he realized that every experience, every moment of struggle, every setback, every challenge was a part of the process of shaping him into the person he was meant to become. There was no need to rush. His potential had always been within him, waiting for him to unlock it. But it wasn't about forcing it. It was about embracing each moment and allowing himself to grow at his own pace. He didn't need to chase success. He simply needed to trust the process. As weeks passed, Daniel's mindset shifted completely. He began waking up earlier, not because he had to, but because he wanted to make the most of each day. He started small, taking moments to meditate in the mornings and appreciate the simple things in life, like the sound of birds singing or the feel of the sun on his skin. These small practices began to shape his outlook on life. One day, while reflecting on the leaf the old man had given him, Daniel had a realization. Just like the leaf's beauty had been hidden beneath its surface, his own potential had been buried beneath layers of self-doubt, fear, and impatience. By taking the time to peel back those layers, he was allowing himself to grow and blossom. He understood now that growth wasn't about rushing or forcing things into place. It was about nurturing each moment, step by step, just like the leaf grows slowly from the ground up. With each small action, Daniel felt more aligned with his true self and the path that lay before him. One morning, as Daniel sat in his favorite cafe sipping his coffee, he realized just how much he had changed. His life was no longer dictated by a strict routine. Instead, he had learned to flow with the present moment. The stress and pressure he had once felt were gone. He no longer chased after success as an end goal, but embraced the journey with patience and trust. He had learned to appreciate the small moments, the conversations with friends, the quiet walks in the park, and the time spent reflecting on his growth. The leaf he had carried with him was now a reminder of the progress he had made. Daniel understood that success wasn't about rushing or forcing outcomes, but about showing up every day with dedication and an open heart. He had unlocked his potential, not by striving for a distant goal, but by embracing the process of growth. And he knew that each step was moving him closer to the person he was always meant to be. As Daniel walked out of the cafe, he felt a deep sense of peace. The rush he once felt to get somewhere, to achieve something, had faded. He now understood that life wasn't about reaching some distant goal. It was about the continuous journey of growth and self-discovery. The leaf he had once carried as a reminder of struggle had become a symbol of his growth, teaching him that real progress came not from forcing things, but from letting them unfold naturally. Daniel smiled as he looked at the world around him, seeing it with new eyes. He was no longer chasing success. He was simply allowing it to come to him. As he walked through the streets, one question echoed in his mind, the same question that would shape his future. Asterisk. What if the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the belief that you have to rush to get there? But what if rushing is the very thing that's keeping you stuck? What if slowing down is the fastest way to get where you're meant to be?